I got to say,
I love this outgoing message. The
I was going
Kettleman's
to say
outgoing
it's
message.
the best message I've heard. I want to shoot the whole family.
Hello, you're watching Nacho. This is Tom Schnauz, writer of this episode, 103.
Peter Gould, co-creator of Better Call Saul.
Vince Gilligan, the other co-creator.
Hey everyone, Michael Mando. I play Nacho Vargo.
Hello, Mark Johnson, an executive producer.
Julianne Emery. I play Betsy Kettleman.
Hey, the lovely Julianne. It's good to have you. Good to have you on one of these.
Yes.
I love Jimmy's wig right here. Trish Alameda did a great job on the men's hair. It's almost a mullet, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Mullet,
Jimmy
mullet
refers
esque.
to Albuquerque, but you don't know if you're in Albuquerque or not.
And this episode is directed by Terry McDonough, who directed the original Saul Goodman episode of Breaking Bad, and
Which you
Terry,
wrote.
which I wrote, and Terry's a wonderful director who's got a great eye, and it was his suggestion to make this flashback have this sort of what we call a bleach bypass look, although it's all digital. It has this kind of blue look with the shadows crushed.
And I also like that we started this inside this room looking over a fluorescent light with the buzz onto Chuck, saying that there's no sign of his problem at this point in time.
Oh, he's got a cell phone that must run off a fucking car battery.
Wasn't that the ones my dad had one of those with the giant antenna on top of the car that had to hook to the side of the door?
Oh, yeah.
Do you
Your
remember?
dad was
That
cool.
Yeah. The men's wigs in this make me very happy.
They are. They're great. They're great.
There's some wonderful wig acting going on. I'm joking, but Bob, and it's not just on this show, but if you look at Mr. Show or any of his other, when he was Birthday Boys,
I was just gonna bring up
Bob
Birthday
always
Boys.
has a wonderful selection of wigs and
Or
different
not
kinds
wigs,
of hair
like
acting.
scalp things.
Yes. This is our first look at Slippin' Jimmy. He's quite the dude. I love how Bob. What was the story with the handcuffs?
There was a question of what reality was, but Bob felt like he wanted to be wearing these and have the leg braces on it. He said it helped him within the scene.
Also, in this scene, I'm not sure if it was Peter or Vince who publicly said something about the colors being hotter, indicating bad guys to the public. But every episode, people would tweet to me and talk about the color of my clothing getting more hotter and hotter. The colors
Red
getting
is definitely
more orange or red.
a signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an idea you had, Peter.
Well, we love playing with color and using color as an element of the story.
It's nice to give meaning to things. It's just not random. It's just like, oh, don't put this person in an orange suit. Vince did that. I mean, it was throughout Breaking Bad. I mean, you have a color spectrum, and things take on meaning.
This is Kat Bardot's hand, actually.
Our makeup artist.
Our makeup
right?
artist.
The lovely Kat Bardot.
We shot that on the last day of production.
Is that also her lipstick?
Probably.
Could
Probably.
be. I think she knows where to get it.
She's kind of full service that way. With back to the color. Yeah, and the color means something slightly different in this show than Breaking Bad. On this show, specifically, red means criminal. So, so we are very careful who we put into red clothing and how much we put on them and how vibrant the red is. And that was a good idea you had, Peter, about the red, the meaning of red on this show.
Yeah, that red light off what that would be the neon sign from outside.
Yeah, this scene coming up was the first thing I ever wrote for Better Call Saul, which became an audition piece for the actresses who came in to audition for the role of Kim. We saw the tapes of all the wonderful actresses who came in, and then Ray just kind of blew it away for us. I mean,
How often does he call her for phone sex?
Stay tuned for season 2.
Hey, Tom, how much did you guys know? How many episodes did you guys know by the time we showed up in Albuquerque? How many episodes have you guys written about?
Good question. I think
we were breaking episode 7 when
Yeah.
Vince was directing episode 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, it's funny, this Kim's bedroom set is actually an empty storefront next to where we shot the nail salon.
Oh, really?
Oh, is that right?
Is it
so we didn't-
really?
just production-wise, we were like, when are we going to... It was harder to go back to the stage and build this thing than to just put a bed in the store and just paint it and make it to look like... That's why we never only see
You'd never
2
know.
walls.
So we're like people just peering in the plate glass at her in bed there?
No, they weren't.
I'll take that
she had
bed.
curtains on the window. For the wide shots, for the closer shots, we tinted the window and did all the stuff facing into the nail salon as daytime. And then when we turned around or did the exterior shots, that was actually night. We just pulled the tent off.
So the closer stuff was done earlier, and then later on after the
Yeah, this
sun
is after
went
the sun
down.
went down. Yeah, so
This was the last stuff.
Yes.
I love this scene too because you see more history between Jim and Kimmy. I mean, Kim and Jimmy.
We actually call
Jim
him
and
Kimmy.
Kimmy.
We call him Kimmy in the
Right.
room.
We just started
call
calling
him
him
Kimmy in the
Kimmy.
No,
yes.
but after the cigarette thing, you're like, what the hell is going on there? And we
Sort
get
of
a
like
little more-
Brangelina or whatever, Kim and Kimmy.
There's always something really intimate about talking to someone while you're in bed too, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never done that.
Liar.
Yeah. Whoa. I know that 800 number.
Roll over. I don't want to see your face.
You know,
Hello, you've reached Gould Nuggets. 1-800 Gould Nuggets.
I would like to know in the writer's room who came up with the sex robot voice that's about to happen here.
I dubbed it a sex robot voice. I don't know why.
Yeah, but who has done this in their childhood?
Now, I'm just going to say, clearly, the writer knows the sex robot.
No, we talked about a voice. Vince, you were talking about putting a piece of wax paper over a tube. That was something
Because I know I did it as a kid, but I remember it working better as a kid.
Yeah, 'cause there was also something about I think,
Really?
you know,
Wax
funny.
paper was better in my day when I was a child.
I
definitely-
actually kept on pitching that we call this episode "Sex Robot," and Tom did not want to call it "Sex Robot,"
But you know, but
which
it
is
is.
uncharacteristic of Tom.
I know,
will
it
say.
is.
It would have to be Sex Roboto.
That's right.
I got to say,
Oh, I love this
Okay.
outgoing message. The
I was going
Kettleman's
to say,
outgoing
it's the
message.
best message I've heard. I want to shoot the whole family.
As a family, the very first thing we did was take some of the pictures that we see in the house here. And then, but the first thing we did together was this message. And we were sitting around the living room working it out with the kids. And we practiced and they were all into it. And I don't think the kids knew it was bad. But
I saw a picture on the internet that people were pulling out some of the graffiti on the phone and in other episodes, and they were matching it to graffiti artists in Breaking Bad. Is that intentional?
You know what? We had a gentleman. He was our graffiti expert. He did the on-set graffiti, and he probably did it for Breaking Bad as well.
This is one of the moments I fell in love with Mrs. Kettleman
Yes.
because of the way you turn. You turn a little bit like Michael Keaton as Batman. Like you like that. Your cowl doesn't.
Didn't
Your
you
neck
know
doesn't
that
move.
Betsy
your whole,
Kettleman is
your,
Batman?
Your whole body turns. This is one of my favorites.
I love that we just both stood up subtly at the same time as well. There's some,
That's it.
we're like,
It's like my neck doesn't move.
And there was so much debate in the writer's room about what the Kettleman's seeing. Do we see Nacho or do we not see Nacho? Do we keep it a shadowy figure that we don't recognize? Because we wanted some mystery to it when Nacho is in custody about whether he did this or not.
Yeah, and that was not Michael there. That was a.
That wasn't, no, we had a stand-in that day because
I would have done that scene differently.
you would have leaned differently.
I'm sorry it didn't work out timing-wise.
By the way,
I know you
where
would
the
have.
hell was
I'm
he? What else he
kidding.
was doing is more important to have been in the shot.
I thought I was being replaced.
Jimmy's feeling the pressure from last night. He's feeling a little guilty and concerned about what happened with the Kettlemans.
Little does he know, Mrs. K can take care of herself.
Oh God.
Is that a challenge?
Potentially young man Nacho.
You know
Bring
they
it.
have never faced off. Oh boy.
My money's on Mrs. Kettle.
Somebody asked me in an interview, what would Mrs. Kettleman say to Nacho? And I said, pull up your pants.
His pants are low.
They are.
His pants, no, they're not. They're like at waist level.
They are. I know. I went for comedy instead of
Oh, I see.
There's a crusty old bastard.
Jonathan Banks, the lovable.
When I met Jonathan Banks,
Man.
I was sitting in the makeup trailer and he walked up the stairs and I didn't hear anything except great gams. I was wearing shorts.
He said that to me too.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to get to know the nicest man on the planet, you know.
Girly, I will punch you in the heart.
By the way, you know that gesture is not going to go unpunished.
No.
There's no
yes.
way he's not getting back at Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's really crossed the line
Yep.
here.
What is with the wind? Why couldn't you do something about that?
Yeah, Tom,
You know what you can
the hell
tell?
kind of-
This is
Producer,
Mark
you-
Johnson's department.
What?
It always does great things to Bob's hair.
And yet Patrick's doesn't move at all.
No, because he's a perfect, handsome bastard no
He's
matter
a
what.
He
specimen.
is.
I'm sick of people saying nice things about him.
Say something mean, Tom. Go ahead.
He's too tall.
Too good looking.
He's too symmetrical. Why can't he have a hair lip?
Why can't you have a goiter?
Yeah, give him a goiter.
He squeezes me too hard when he kisses
Next
me.
season's all goiters.
Yeah.
That's our tease.
You cup your balls with it.
By the way, I love that in the background action that a cop actually holds up the yellow
Yeah.
warning tape
Yeah.
to let him. Everybody respects this son of a bitch.
That's true.
That's true. He's like the Mark Johnson of Albuquerque.
Well, no one's quite that.
Was this Kim's Ray's first talking scene in this season?
She talks in one, but
That's true.
this episode,
Just one word, though. Or
yeah,
two
there's
words,
just a few words in the garage. This episode's the first time we really start sketching in their relationship.
First scene, we knew she could speak English.
Yes.
First time, we figured it might have been
Yeah, we
phonetic.
had just run an ad in Craigslist, and she was the only one who showed up. And so we were just hoping for something good.
This phone is tapped so that the cops know.
No,
Nacho's
but they
phone
have
is
Nacho's. They have Nacho's drop phone, Nacho's cell phone. So
So they're getting the other side of
They've-
all these calls.
Right, got it.
They've since picked up Nacho because of they saw the van, the neighbor saw the van and the license plate.
Right. But the cops are hearing Jimmy.
Jimmy call and leave these messages.
yes, and also of course there are a lot fewer payphones around now.
Yeah,
than there
where
were
do
in
you find
2002.
these payphones?
There's a rental house, set deck rental
Prop
house.
house, yeah.
Prop
Wow.
house, rents them. That is a nice shot. Was it crane or cherry? I mean, was it camera crane or like a cherry picker or something?
I believe this was like a cherry picker type.
And it must have been there on that day for another shot, too. Because I can't imagine we rented a crane for just this one shot.
Says the executive producer.
In retrospect,
Quite the imagination you have
He's
there.
going back and like,
that's cutting into my profits.
I said, okay, we can afford it, but we're going to have to take some actors' money.
I love this shot through the
this-
rear view window.
This is great.
or
You
the
can see
rearview
both
mirror.
of them in one shot. Yes.
Bob is actually in very good shape, and during the first couple of takes, I was like, "You got to look like you're struggling," because he rides a bike everywhere. And
He does.
He's very athletic.
There's the man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There's the man.
Oh, Michael, I
nervous
love
already.
this scene so much. You're so good.
thank you.
So this is a
Is this
set.
your character's introduction?
It's his second. He's in episode 2. Yeah, this is.
Oh, right. With
This is
Hugo.
his third
Watch
scene.
the series.
I just noticed, like, the moment that you tracked your eyes to him became a huge moment. It's great as an actor to watch. Like, you're so still, and then you just cut your eyes to him at a specific moment. You were so specific with your inner monologue.
It was really interesting to play a character that doesn't speak, and it really created a really intimate relationship with the character where I felt like I needed to understand everything he was thinking.
See, like, right there, like, you're obviously thinking something, so specific, and it's making me uncomfortable and scared for him. Like,
As much as possible in the
Nacho
moment.
thinks Jimmy screwed him, took away his score, and he's just brought him in here to hear what he has to say. He's basically waiting to figure out what his game is here.
Yeah, I remember when first reading it, and I was reading this scene, and it says Nacho stares in the direction, and then a little later in the thing, it says he keeps staring, and he gets more and more angry. He looks at him in a way that would get a dead corpse pregnant.
Tom, thank you for writing things just for our enjoyment.
My pleasure.
First episode ever of the show. The first page says something, something's turning. What is it? And there's all these kind of deep meaning to it. And then a few lines it says, "No, dumbass, it's a donut."
That's right. Oh, the cinema thing. That's right.
Every
I love
time.
every
The
time.
slamming of the handcuffs
That's such a great moment.
onto that was all Michael wanted to do that. He had an instinct for it.
We were talking about how would Nacho be sitting, and I think Terry kind of wanted him to be hunched over, and we had this discussion about this guy's psychology, thinking that he wouldn't give away that he's beaten at any moment because of the boots he was wearing, kind of like an alligator. And that conversation, I think, led to the improv moment of the alligator who would just snap his jaw at a specific
That was
moment.
great.
Good touch.
It makes me jump.
Yeah,
every
no, I
time.
did try to surprise Bob. I tried to do it.
His reaction,
a
Bob's
little
reaction
later.
too, is really truthful. Like, it doesn't look like he's anticipating.
This is the old courthouse in downtown Albuquerque.
And it's the same building where the opening flashback was shot.
Right.
In the prison area, and that's also
We
the
shot that
prison,
in the basement of this
in the
building.
basement. Yeah.
This is also the building on the outside, same building. The exterior was used in Breaking Bad when Jesse got let go from the police custody and then got kidnapped into the minivan toward the end of season 4.
Was the flag there, or is this something that you guys put the American flag behind Kim and Jimmy talking?
I think Tony Fanning put that in there. That was set dressing.
So JoJo, the little girl who plays JoJo, Tell me
Named
was her
after,
name. Belle Sage. Yeah. She's so adorable and so sweet and so cute. And she had the darkest sense of humor with that doll. She kept turning its head all the way around. And she kept saying, "This doll is creepy."
JoJo is named after Betsy Brandt's daughter.
Oh, right.
Oh, wow.
Josephine. That's right. Wouldn't it be great to see Mrs. Kettleman together with
Marie?
Yeah.
That
Betsy
would
and Marie
be
together?
amazing.
Marie has a better, is more in touch with reality.
I don't know if the universe can survive it.
What is that poster behind Kim? Is that
Is Stuart
It's
Little?
Stuart Little, the movie
which is a Sony movie.
So is it Jimmy's intuition that says that Nacho's not the person?
He knows.
Yeah.
He's just talking to you. He knows. Wait a minute. This
He
guy
can feel it.
did not do it. He was blaming me. This is a weird tactic to take if this is something he did and is trying to cover up. So he
Right.
knows for sure.
And he has a pretty good idea that the Kettlemans may really have taken that money.
Was this boat at this house?
No.
We brought the
No,
boat
we
in.
brought it in.
Oh,
That is
brought it
a
in.
big boat.
It's a big ass boat. This house was very carefully chosen. The folks who live in it are very nice and very accommodating.
And then when we were on the one of the scouts of this house, we looked at the back of it and realized, hey, it's like a cutout dollhouse. That kind of led us to
that
the
helped us
whole
break
sequence in
episode
episode
7,
seven
yeah.
when Mike retrieves the Kettleman's money.
In episode 2, in that scene where Nacho comes up to Jimmy, I remember there were inflections in certain sentences that I think you had asked Michelle to ask me to drop because they incited something that wouldn't work probably for the.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, for some reason, I forget why I was there for episode 2. Oh, because we were prepping episode 3, and I just would take time when we weren't scouting. I would just go to the set.
And it's
hang out.
you rat, you die. I think was so important that it
Yeah.
was a threat, not a throwaway.
Yeah,
Help us do some good.
I love this.
I love that look.
Yeah.
That's a
It's a
great-
great touch. And the interesting thing, and for the folks watching this season for the second time, is stuff we're going to learn about his relationship to police officers in general, coming up in episode 6. And two dirty officers, two dirty cops killed his son.
For instance, had you shared that with him?
I
Excellent
don't
question.
know if I specifically told him that, but I think it was actually written in the script that there's the touch on the shoulder brings out a feeling about police officers that he's been holding in.
I love how much Jonathan Banks trusts the camera and to come to him. He never pushes anything, and yet
he'll
he's
punch it
so
in the heart.
effective.
Giant pain in the
Yeah.
ass on set. Oh my God.
Was
love
that
the
ceiling
paint peeling.
cracked like that?
I think that was a lucky happenstance that the tax money in Albuquerque is not going to run out.
Thanks to the Kettlemans.
This is the first time in this series that you look at Mike and go, oh, he's about a moral code. He's
Yes.
not necessarily about
Stickers.
yeah.
And also,
Just stick it right.
getting episodes ready ahead of time,
Yes.
then we were able to plant the sticker on the Kettleman's car, which I'm not sure if you see in
This is
episode
an
1,
iconic
Yeah.
but
shot.
it's there.
It's there in episode 1.
It's there in
It's
episode
not,
1.
It's not prominent,
Yeah.
but it is
There it
definitely
is.
there.
Yep.
This
We
sequence
sang a lot
shot
of bingo
in,
this day.
Yeah.
shot in Algodones, which is the area where Mike dies in Breaking Bad.
Oh.
We're
Not that far.
quite
The
close
river,
to the Rio Grande.
Yeah, the river's right there.
There they
How
are.
cute are those
Yep.
kids?
I love Warren. Is just not having it.
Yeah.
He's had enough.
Here's Johnny!
She's like, we are happy. We are perfect.
God damn it!
Yeah.
You're gonna be.
We're having a good time, damn it.
I love the way Jimmy says, "Here's Johnny" in the teaser, and then here's Johnny.
Yeah, it's always
here.
nice to bookend.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it means, but I love doing it.
I love your reaction here. That's so good. How dare you? And I love Jeremy there. I love that
Jeremy's like,
Jeremy-
yes, all right.
Jeremy's like, we're caught.
I love it.
And I'm just angry.
I love it.
Oh, what's going to happen in the next episode?
I don't know.
I love the
Watch.
fact that you're the one pulling
The money.
the money. Oh, yeah.
Do you know, you don't see it in 104, but when we shot 104, you just see the bag go down, but we shot it from the tent. And Jeremy zips the tent, and he was like, maybe Bob would help you carry the money. I said, oh, no. No, Mr. Colin Buxey. I carried it by myself all the way to the place and put it down. I was like, no.
I love it.
That's,
Thanks everybody for watching and
thanks for
listening.
listening. Can't
Thank
believe you
you.
made it through the whole episode.